And thank you for joining me. Great Board Gamer here with another series of playthrough videos. This time I'll be playing Salvation Road by Ryder Games. Let's get this box cracked open and set up. The world is a wasteland, ravaged and ruined by power man was not meant to wield. Somehow, your large group survived, holed up in a fortified compound, with a reactor purifying the air and water. You eked out a monotonous existence. But your time has run out. The reactor is leaking and could explode any day. Meanwhile, a gang of desperate marauders has found your hideaway, and they want it for themselves. You have one hope. Over the shortwave radio, you have received broadcasts from a settlement called Salvation, a haven that promises clean water, abundant food, and safety, if you can reach it. Your small band of stalwart heroes and desperate survivors are ready to brave the wasteland and search for the resources needed to survive the trip. Time is short, and death lurks around every corner. Here's the game board for Salvation Road, and I'll explain the sections on it during the setup here. First thing we're going to do is select our heroes and our survivors. They each have their own pile of cards. Now, I'll just go ahead and do it randomly. And we'll play a two-player game. Each player takes one hero and one survivor. I'll draw two of each. And they'll be together as a group, so I will have this hero, Dante, and this survivor, Hank Grimm, together, and then Frida Malik and Meli Palakai. I'm pretty sure I pronounced that horribly wrong. This is our first duo, Dante and Hank Grimm. Dante, I do what has to be done because you won't. Then Hank Grimm, I told you, no one followed me. And our second duo, Frida Malik, hold still, this might sting a little. And Meli Palakai, I'm going to go with that. Anyone got a light? First up we have our deck of search cards that show you which resources to put on the locations when you search them. Give those a quick mix. And then this will go face down next to the board. Second, we have our apocalypse cards, which will describe what happens during the aptly named apocalypse phase. Give these a quick shuffle also. And then 5 cards at random I'll pull out. There. Those 5 cards that I pulled out will be put back in the game box without me looking at them and be removed from this playthrough. I'll set the apocalypse deck next to the board. We also have road cards, and these will be used during the final journey to Salvation. And we will draw one, and we'll draw them off the bottom because the backs of them show what might or will be needed, but you don't know the quantities. So we'll draw one off the bottom to start. And our first one is going to need ammo and fuel. Every card needs fuel, but again, you don't know in what quantity these items will be needed, and it could be anywhere between 1 and 4. Then we have our location deck. Looks like a series of Polaroids. First, I want to take the 3 cards with this symbol on them that the other cards don't have. These are the recon sites. Now there's only going to be one of these in the game. So give them a shuffle, draw one, and the other two will be sent to the game box without looking at them. And then we have our other location cards. And we're going to draw two of these because we have two players. And the others are returned to the box. And then take the total three, give them a mix too. That way you don't know which one is the recon site, and put them out on the board face down to be revealed later. Off to the side, I will have the threat dice. You have 4 white and 2 black. The black are worse because they have double wounds on those, where the white only have single wounds. And also off to the side, I'll be keeping these location use markers, and on the flip side, it lets you know that the location is overrun. And the threat markers, which show the current threat level at each location, and all these will be explained during the course of the gameplay. Also, I will put out the supply markers here in the supply pool. The supply markers are in their respective areas set up. And this is what they look like. We have a can of soup for food, a first aid kit for the medical supplies, ammo is represented by these ammo belts, and fuel by a gas can. We also have these injury tokens that I will mix up and place face down on this spot with the newspaper right here. The wound tokens are in place. Now we'll take our truck, and you can see it's got this line with the 3 times. When you're putting resources into the truck, like that would show that we have 1 ammo, and then if we put another ammo in, 2 ammo, and if we're going to add a third one, we can just move one of them down here to represent the fact that that's 3 ammo. That way you don't have to keep piling things up or run out of tokens in the resource pool. Those will be put back, and the truck is over here next to the compound. And finally, we look at this little chart right here. This shows us that in a 2-player game, we're going to have 6 of the motorcycle marauder tokens and 5 of the buggy off-road vehicle marauder tokens. And here are the tokens. We have the motorcycle marauders and the buggies. And these are the ones that we'll use for this game. Again, there are 6 of the motorcycles and 5 of the buggies, and they're just kept in a pool down here just off the board. Now there's no difference in strength between them. What the buggies represent is that you're getting close to having too many of them along this fence line, and you'll see me add them along the fence line during gameplay. Since there are 6 of the motorcycles, and those will always go on first, and then you just move on to adding the buggies when you have to keep adding more and you're out of the motorcycles. And that's kind of a reminder to you that you're getting close to using up all of your tokens. If you use up all of the marauder tokens, when you place the last one on the fence line and there's none left in this pool, the game is over and the heroes and survivors all lose. This set of binoculars is the token to show who the first player is in the round, and I rolled a die randomly, and Dante and Hank Grimm are going to be the first duo to go, and I also put the character standees out on the board. We're all set up and ready to begin our 2-player playthrough of Salvation Road.